I don't think I've ever been at work at this time of day ever before. It is 2:30. Dan.
Hello!
Dan.
What?
Dan.
Oh God, here
Dan.
we go.
Yes, you did, Dan. Don't you worry about it.
Thank you.
Hello. This is a Project Nigel road trip today, and we're on our way to Maidstone in Kent. And so far, we're mostly all the way there in Cobham. I'm not alone on today's trip because I have Dan with me, and Dan very kindly poured me out a cup of coffee before. No, that's the right amount, especially if you're on the move, because you can hold on to that. While driving on that rather bumpy bit on the M6 around Birmingham, that bit of motorway that makes you bounce around all over the place with the back wheels sort of constantly changing the direction of your car, he managed to hand me a full cup of coffee. Sorry. Oh, that bumpy road.
I can understand they're doing that because in the short term it probably doesn't cost a lot to do that. But long term, the better solution would be to repave the road or to restructure the road, wouldn't it? Like I'm sure there's this company in Germany.
It is. Why is that car on the top of that tipper?
It's a cement lorry carrying the Vauxhall.
Apparently this is a very, very special Rover indeed. Well, that was a rather fabulous trip through the Dartford tunnel just there. And now it's time to talk about the lovely car we have on board. Yeah. So, why don't I talk about the car that I picked up from Kent, Maidstone, Maidstone, Kent, in Kent. It is a Rover 45 in Odyssey Green.
Celadon Green.
Yeah, okay. And it is a press car, ex-press car.
Ex-Rover press car.
Ex-Rover press car.
Yeah.
And it is one of only 2 left in the country.
3.
One of 3 left in the country.
You did that without moving your lips.
Hey, there's a point. Let's try that again. I'll give you some information on this car.
Well, it were a press launch car, so essentially the car was released so all the motor critics and the politicians could drive it around and see what was the car was going to be like, what the market was going to be like. Did that without moving your lips.
Looks like a Bristol. It is, isn't it?
No idea what the fuck that is.
Well, let's say it's Bristol in the back.
Is it? Your eyesight's better than mine. Your eyesight's a lot better than mine.
That looks, it almost looks like it's got Morris Towel backlights.
Yeah. Probably a kit car.
No, it's a Bristol. It's a genuine car.
Doubt. It's nice though.
Itself has, well, it's come very, very close to being on death's door because it's all the way down here in Kent, or it was, and that's a bit too far in normal circumstances. If it wasn't for the fact that this is a car that Dan himself has restored in the past and he has some sort of attachment to it, it would probably not be coming back to life.
Be a baked bean tin.
We're going to the baked bean tin fund. That's normally where Vauxhalls go.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say about this car, Dan?
Yeah.
Yes, you will.
Hello, I'm Paul, and you're watching Project Nigel. The reason why I look younger and generally more handsome than I normally do is because I've just travelled 4 miles to Kent and it's took years off me.
Is that what you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Only joking. That's a relief, isn't it? It has become a rather humid day. bit too warm for me. It feels like about 23 degrees centigrade.
I'd say it's more in the ways of 21, good sir.
Well, you could just go for the average of 22.
There it is. What was it you were saying about a Celsius connoisseur?
Connoisseur de Celsius.
That's the badger.
Don't talk about my beard like that. Egg mayonnaise, Mr. Allen. Egg mayonnaise. You can taste the mustard though. Oh. On the M1 right now, and as you can see, there's a bit of a traffic jam. I really wouldn't have expected that at all. You'd think that on a Friday afternoon people would stay away from the M1 to avoid having traffic jams. Well, it's very big, and I'm not happy with the way it's strapped down myself personally. That's not strapped down very well at all, in fact. So is the last part of the journey. We have had a jolly good day actually, going to Kent and back, and now in the last 20 miles or so we're just stuck in rainy horrible traffic on the M1 for the foreseeable future. So we'll never catch you for that. That day's over with. 7:30, just leaving the yard now. So from 3 o'clock to 7:30. 2 o'clock actually got up to go to Kent. What a lovely day. Now unfortunately I didn't get as much filming done of this because Dan and I just did nothing but chat all the way. And because of this I had to get Dan to send me a little footage the next day.
This is Christine, my Rover 45 saloon. Christine was bought a number of years ago now. I found her abandoned on an industrial estate in Birmingham. I brought her home and I completely restored her. Drove her for a couple of years before selling it. What's special about Christine is that in 1999-2000, when Rover released the Rover 45, this car was a press car for the launch. So all the motor journalists and politicians, they drove these cars to see what the marque would be like. There was a few of them built, all in Celadon green. I think they had one for each trim level, so they had like a KV6 one, a 1.8 one, a connoisseur, all that sort of thing. This is the 1.8 CVT semi-automatic variant. Only 3 survived. This one, one belonging to a motor journalist called Craig Cheatham. He's got the KV6, and another one which I believe is the diesel. A couple of weeks ago it popped up on Facebook Marketplace. The owner at the time was on about scrapping it, said it had been sat for a bit, was out of MOT, needed a bit of work on it, so I bought it back, and I now plan to restore it again. You can see the interior, catkin green velour, I think it is. It's to be fair, it's still the same car that I sold. It was pretty much immaculate. The only difference now being it's obviously suffered a bit of weathering. I don't know if you can see that very well, but starting to fade there. And then, as typical of Rovers of this era, I've got a sagging roof liner. Celadon green, the colour, was only available for the first 6 months of production. I believe it was a hangover from the Rover 400, which is obviously the car that came before this. In regards to the press history, it's identifiable through its reg, obviously WLDA. That was the press cars for that era.
Might be worthwhile mentioning that Project Transit Face did manage to spring a leak from one of its brake lines with about 80 miles still to go. And so basically I had to do the last bit without touching the brakes hardly at all, because my foot was going right the way to the floor. Yeah, not advisable, and I know I shouldn't have even done that, but I did do, because I didn't want to lengthen the day even further by having to wait around for recovery. But I got the thing back safely enough. Now the car, this very rare Rover 45 that we have picked up. Hopefully by the time I edit this video tomorrow, Dan will have sent me a few shots of it, because I didn't get around to doing any of it.